8.6 notes, solving exponential and logarithm equations. Alright, so our objective today is that you're able to solve exponential and logarithmic equations. There's a warm-up for you. You can go ahead and do the warm-up. Alright, so you're going to try to solve these. And then I will come back and I will give you the answers later on. Alright, so get into our notes. Solve exponential equations. If two powers of the same base are equal, then all you do is set their exponents equal. For instance, if we have 3x is equal to 3 to the 5th power, then all you have to do is set this exponent equal to this exponent. So we get x equals 5. And that's how you solve. So when the bases are the same, all you do is you set the exponents equal to each other. Alright, our examples of some of these problems. Alright, so A, we have 4 to the second equals 4 to the 9x minus 5. Again, the bases are exactly the same. Both of these are 4. So since they are exactly the same, all we do is set the exponents equal to each other. So 2 equals 9x minus 5. And then we solve it. We add 5. Gives me 7 equals 9x. Divide by 9. Divide by 9. And we get x equals 7/9. Alright. B, notice now the exponent or the bases are not the same, but we're going to force them to be the same. In fact, we can change this 4 and we can make it into a 2. So we are going to keep our 2 to the 3x. We're going to change this 4 to a 2 squared. So it's going to look like this. Now we're not changing this exponent. We're going to leave that x plus 1. Now we have an exponent here and an exponent out here. So power to a power we have to multiply. So we make this 2 to the 3x equals 2 to the 2x plus 2. Again, power to a power you multiply. So you distribute the 2 to both of them. Now we have the bases are the same. So now we can set the exponents equal to each other. So we set 3x equals 2x plus 2. Subtract 2x, subtract 2x, and they cancel out, and we get x equals 2. Alright, now this one's a little bit harder. Alright, we got 4 to the x power equals 1/2 to the x minus 3. Alright, so we have to make this 4 and this 1/2 the same base. Well, we can change them both into a power of 2. The 4 we already saw up there, we can make that 2 squared. So it's going to be 2 squared to the x power. Alright, this 1/2, we can change that. We move the 2 up top, puts it in the wrong place, so we got to make the exponent negative. So that 1/2 would change to 2 to the negative 1. Is the same as 1/2, and then bring down that exponent x minus 3. Alright, now again, power to a power we multiply, so 2 times x gives us 2x, so we get 2 to the 2x equals, and then this one power to a power multiply again, so 2 to the negative 1x plus 3. Alright, now our bases are the same, so now we can set the exponents equal to each other, so 2x equals negative 1x plus 3. We add x to both sides. Gives us 3x equals 3. We divide by 3, and we get x equals 1. Alright. And then D, we have 3 to the x equals 1/9 to the x plus 3. Alright, so again, we got to make the bases the same. So we got to make this 3 and this 1/9 the same base. Well, I think we're going to keep the 3. And we're going to change this 9 and make it into a power of 3. So we would have 3 to the x power. 9, we can change that to 3 squared. So it will be 1 over 3 squared to the x plus 3. All right, now, again, we're going to move it to the top, put it in the wrong place, so we got to make the exponent negative. So we get 3 to the x equals 3 to the negative 2 to the x plus 3. All right, and then power to a power multiply. So we got 3 to the x equals 3. Negative 2 times x, negative 2x. Negative 2 times positive 3, negative 6. And now our bases are the same. So now we just set the exponents equal to each other. So x equals negative 2x minus 6. We add 2x. Gives us 3x equals negative 6. We divide by 3. And we get x equals negative 2. Alright? Alright. So now you got these 6 U-try problems to go ahead and do. I will give you, again, send you the answers for these later on. Alright, so go ahead and work on those. Alright, you can pause the video, or if you want to wait until after, that's fine. Alright, going on. When you can't get the bases to be the same, that's when you're going to have to use logarithms. Alright, you use logarithms to get your answer. Alright, so example 2, we have 3 to the x power equals 5. So we can't make a 5 and a 3 be the same base. Alright, so what we do is we get rid of this 3 by doing log base 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that 3 to the x equals 5. And what we're going to do is we're going to do log base 3. And again, I picked base 3 because it has to be the same as whatever this base is. Alright, and then whatever I do to this side, because again, this is what I added, this is a new part, I have to do it to this side. So I get that. Alright, now what happens on this side is this log base 3 and this 3, they cancel out. So it just leaves me with x equals log base 3 of 5. And then we can use our change of base formula to get an answer for that. That's the exact answer, but we get an approximate answer by doing this. We got x equals, again, it's going to be, we can use log, so I can do log 5 divided by log 3. And again, I just put that in the calculator. Alright, so in my calculator, I have log 5, enter, and then I do divide it by log 3, enter, and there's my approximate answer, 1.465. So it's approximately 1.465. Alright, next one we have 9 to the x power equals 35. Alright. So again, we have to get rid of this 9. Because we need to get the x by itself. Remember, we're always trying to get x by itself. Well, the first thing we got to do is get it out of the exponent. All right, we got to get it out of that area. I'm going to move this 35 over a little. All right, so now to get rid of the 9 and get the x out of the exponent, we have to do a log of that base. So I do log base 9. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do the other side. 9. All right, and they cancel out. So I get x equals log base 9 of 35. All right, and now I just use my calculator again. X equals log 35 divided by log 9. Remember, when we're using the change of base formula, the base always goes on the bottom. All right, so now putting it in the calculator, clear that one out, and here we go. We got log 35, enter, divided by log 9, enter, and I get approximately 1.618. All right, and now just to show you that this actually works, that 9 to this power is going to give us 35, is what I do is this. If I do 9 to the, and then shift answer, so I'm doing 9 to this power, and I hit enter, I get 35. So you can see that that is the answer and it works. All right, the next one we're going to solve. We have 10 to the 3x minus 1 equals 19. So again, we have to get this x by itself to solve it. So we got to get rid of this 10 or get the x out of the exponent. So we're going to take that. All right. And now to get rid of this 10, we got to do log base 10. All right. Which is just log. So if we just do log and log, they cancel each other out. I get 3x minus 1 equals log 19. And then I add 1. Gives me 3x equals log 19 plus 1. And then divide by 3. Divide by 3. So I get x equals log 19 plus 1 divided by 3. And again, I'll get an approximate answer. Now I don't have to use change of base because that's the log button that's in our calculator. All right, so I'll clear that out. And here we go. I'm going to do log 19. And I'm going to hit enter. Then I'm going to do plus 1. I'm going to hit enter. And then I'm going to do divide it by 3. And I'm going to hit enter. So I get 0.7595. So again, I would round this to 7.760. All right, 0.760. All right, and then D is very similar to that one. So we got 10 to the 2x plus 3 equals 115. Again, to get this out of the exponent, we got to do log of this base. So log 10 is the same as log. They cancel out. So I get 2x plus 3 equals log 115. Subtract 3. Subtract 3. So I get 2x equals log 115 minus 3. And then divide by 2. Divide by 2. So I get x equals log 115 minus 3 divided by 2. And I'll get my approximation for that. Again, I'm going to clear this out. So I'm going to do log 115. And I'm going to hit enter. Then I'm going to do minus 3. Hit enter. And then I'm going to do divide it by 2. And hit enter. So this time I got approximately a negative point. And again, we have a 9 there. So this is a 6. So that means we've got to add 1, which makes this a 10. So that makes it 0.470. And again, I'm rounding these to 3 decimal places. So you should round them to 3 decimal places if it doesn't ask. All right. And then you got some more U-tries to do. All right, and we have another page of these notes, but I'm just going to stop right there. So do those U-tries, and then I will also give you a homework assignment.